guys, I'm here today to review Take Me On by Katie McGarry. This is the fourth book in the Pushing the Limit series, and right now I think this series isn't over, but I think this is the last book that's going to come out for a while, and she has one more e-novella, Chasing the Apostle, which comes out in July, which if you pre-ordered Nowhere to Run, you got that as like a extra deal, which I'm very excited to read. I really love this book. I gave it 5 stars. Basically follows 2 characters, and you met Wes in Crash Into You because he was Rachel's older brother. And this book follows Wes, and it follows Haley, and Haley is a mixed martial arts fighter who, about a year ago, there was a situation and she stopped fighting. And no one knows why, but she stopped fighting. And, that's kind of a lot of propelling her forward. And then Wes is this guy who winds up getting kicked out of his school and winds up going to Haley's school. And they wind up in this deal about mixed martial arts fighting. And Haley basically has to train Wes to fight her ex-boyfriend. And it's a very, very complicated thing. But the book was so interesting to me because it focused on 2 things. It focused on guilt in both characters. Both characters had so much guilt and so much feelings about stuff that had happened in their past, and really how much it really, really affected them. But another thing that really happened with Haley was that something happened with Haley's boyfriend before all this happened, and that was such like a big, big effect, and really, really was weighing her down. Haley did not have a good home life situation at all, and it was sometimes really hard to read about. But I know that it's something that teenagers should read about because it gives you guys a new perspective on some things and a new understanding for sometimes some things that do happen in the world. But I really liked Haley and Wes's relationship because people don't always have a home as a safe place to land. So they kind of created their own home in each other, and I really liked the development of the relationship. And I loved why Haley was so hesitant to get into it, and why Wes felt like he didn't deserve Haley. I really, really like their relationship, and I love seeing it progress. And I love seeing the effect of the Crash Into You events on Wes, because it really, to me, made like Crash Into You and Take Me On like one complete story, just like Pushing the Limits and Dare You 2 was really a complete story. So these 2 stories really, really made it complete. There are still so many open ends in this book. Like, I want Katie McGarry, if you're listening or you're watching this, I really, really want an Ethan book one day. Because Ethan's like one of my favorite characters in this series. But I really, really grew to really, really love these characters. It was really, really fast-paced. I love the background of mixed martial arts fighting. And I loved, just learning more about mixed martial arts fighting. It's not what I like, but it just was really interesting to see why Haley didn't want to be with a fighter, but how Wes was such a fighter. I love seeing like all like the interconnectedness and the unemployment issue that dealt with Haley's father really, really was hard. It was so heartbreaking to watch and witness, and I really want to know more like what happened towards the end of the book and what eventually happened to that. But it was a very, very fast-paced book. And this is a really, really thick book. But it was, I had to know what happened. But I think it also gives a very, very, if, you're in an abusive relationship, get help. And when you don't get help, what happened? Look how in bad shape Haley was throughout this whole book. And I think that kids should know that. Kids should see that part of it. And I liked Miss Collins came back, and I really liked Miss Collins. She had a lot more of a prevalence in the previous books in the series, so her presence was a little bit. I like learning more about Abby, and I know we're gonna get her story soon, but I cannot wait to see more about her. But yeah, those are just my initial thoughts. But Take Me On. If you guys want like a spoiler discussion about this book, I will be happy to do it. I just figured I'd give you my original my first thoughts about it right now. But as always, subscribe to my channel, comment below, go on my Goodreads, go on my Twitter. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. Bye.